Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. You know, we like to get into the nitty-gritty, and today we're tackling entrepreneurship.
Oh, yeah.
But not just the surface stuff. We're
Yeah.
going deep. Like, what does it actually take to be a successful entrepreneur? What are the skills that really make a difference?
Well, it's easy to get caught up in the hype, You see all these exciting startups and success stories,
Yeah, sure.
but the reality is entrepreneurship, it's not all glamorous.
Right.
There's a lot of risk involved,
Absolutely.
and it really demands a unique set of skills to survive, let alone thrive.
So that's what we're here to break down today. Like,
Yeah.
what actually makes someone an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Because it's more than just starting a business, right?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's deeper than that. It's about really owning what you do, taking on a lot of risk for the potential of a big payoff.
Okay, so it's not just about a job. It's like a whole
It's a mindset, a way of life, yeah.
way of operating, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about these skills. Like, what are we really talking about here?
So, in my experience, there are 5 foundational skills that are really the pillars of entrepreneurial success.
Okay.
And the first one, and I think this is probably the most crucial, is communication.
Okay.
And I don't just mean being a charismatic speaker. This is about being able to clearly and effectively communicate the value of your business to everyone involved.
So to like your team, your investors, even people who might not be on board yet.
Exactly. You have to tailor your message to each audience. What works for your employees might not resonate with potential investors.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you need to get everyone on the same page, basically.
Absolutely. And I've seen so many promising ventures fail simply because they couldn't communicate their value effectively.
Oh, really?
For example, I once worked with this tech startup that had developed some groundbreaking software, but they really struggled to explain its benefits in a way that people could actually understand.
Oh.
They were so focused on the technical details that they missed the big picture of how it could actually solve real-world problems.
Wow. So even if you have an amazing product, if you can't explain it well, it's almost like it doesn't even matter.
Unfortunately, that's often the case.
So communication is all about connecting with people, not just throwing information at them.
You got it. It's about telling a compelling story that resonates with your audience.
Okay, so that's communication.
Yeah.
What's the next skill on our list?
So next up, we have sales. Now, I know some people get a little,
Boomish.
squeamish about that word.
Sure.
But the truth is, as an entrepreneur, you are always selling. You're selling your vision, your product or service, and even yourself.
It's true. You have to convince people to believe in you and what you're doing.
Exactly. It's about persuasion and being able to articulate the why behind your business.
But how do you actually get better at that beyond just, practice?
Well, one key element is mastering the art of storytelling.
Storytelling, okay.
Yeah, you need to be able to craft a narrative that connects with people emotionally and shows them how your product or service can really solve their problems.
So it's about appealing to their needs and desires.
Exactly.
Not just listing features and benefits.
Right. People buy into stories, they buy into emotions. So if you can create that connection, you're already halfway there.
That's a great point. Okay, so we've got communication and sales. What's next?
Next, we have focus. And this one is huge because the entrepreneurial journey, well, it's a roller coaster ride. Lots of ups and downs, unexpected twists and turns.
Oh, for sure.
You're going to face challenges, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt.
Absolutely.
So maintaining laser focus on your end goal,
Mm-hmm.
even amidst all of that chaos, is crucial for staying on track.
It sounds almost impossible sometimes, Like, how do you develop that kind of focus when there's so much pulling you in different directions?
Yeah, it's tough. But it all boils down to 2 things: prioritizing and learning to say no.
Prioritizing and saying no. Okay.
Yeah, you need to be ruthless about saying no to opportunities that don't align with your core vision.
So it's about cutting out the distractions and really honing in on what matters most.
Exactly. Think of it like navigating a ship through a storm.
All like that.
You need a steady hand on the wheel to weather the rough seas and reach your destination. And a great example of this is, name a famous entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah?
They faced countless rejections early on. I mean, so many financial struggles too, but never lost sight of their vision. And that unwavering focus, well, it ultimately led them to build a multi-billion-dollar company.
That's incredibly inspiring, to be honest. It shows that resilience is a huge part of focus.
You got it.
Okay, so we've got communication, sales, focus. What's next?
So the next crucial skill is the ability to learn. And I'm not just talking about formal education here.
Gotcha.
This is about constantly seeking out new information, extracting lessons from every experience you have, especially your failures.
Well, that's interesting. So it's about being open to new information, even if it challenges what you thought you knew.
Exactly. And you have to be willing to pivot, to change course when necessary.
Like if the market's telling you something different.
Right. A great example is name of entrepreneur who launched a product that initially flopped.
Oh, wow.
But instead of giving up, they listened to customer feedback, went back to the drawing board, and eventually created a vastly improved product that became a huge success.
So it's almost like those initial failures can actually pave the way for even greater success.
They absolutely can.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, failure is just part of the process. It's a stepping stone.
Okay, so we've got communications, sales, focus, the ability to learn. That brings us to our fifth core skill, right?
Yeah, the fifth one is business strategy. And this is where everything we've talked about so far comes together.
Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road, huh?
Exactly. It's about making smart decisions based on solid business principles. Analyzing market trends, understanding your financials, and having a plan, a roadmap for sustainable growth.
So it's not just about having a great idea or being a good communicator. You actually need to know how to execute.
You need a solid plan, a blueprint for your entrepreneurial journey. You can't just wing it.
So you're saying it's a combination of that creativity with the strong foundation in business fundamentals.
Absolutely. It's like building a house.
Mm-hmm.
You need a strong foundation to support your vision. Otherwise, it's all going to crumble.
That's a great analogy. So those are the 5 core skills: communication, sales, focus, the ability to learn, and business strategy. But is there something else, like a secret sauce, that really separates those who make it from those who don't?
That's a great question. And it's interesting because I think what often gets overlooked
Okay.
are those soft skills, the things you don't always learn in a textbook.
Okay, like what?
Being likable, resilient, versatile.
Oh yeah, those are important, but you don't always hear people talking about them in the business world.
No, not really, but they play a huge role.
Yeah, because when you're building a business,
Mm.
you're constantly interacting with people, investors, employees, customers.
Yeah.
Being likable, being able to connect with people on a personal level, that makes a huge difference.
It really does. And then there's resilience. That's essential for dealing with the inevitable ups and downs of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, you're going to face rejections, setbacks, challenges.
Oh, for sure.
Being able to bounce back from those
Yeah,
and keep a positive attitude is crucial.
it is. And versatility, too. Being able to adapt to changing circumstances, think on your feet, wear multiple hats.
Right, especially in the early days, you have to be a jack of all trades.
Exactly.
So it's not just about mastering those 5 core skills, it's also about cultivating these softer, more human-centered qualities.
Absolutely.
But how do these soft skills tie into the practical, hard skills of running a business, like budgeting, financial analysis, or confidently pitching your ideas to investors?
That's a great point. It's about finding the right balance.
Hmm.
You absolutely need strong business acumen. You have to understand the numbers, manage cash flow, and be able to articulate your business plan effectively.
So the secret sauce is really a blend of both hard and soft skills working together.
You got it. It's like a recipe.
Okay.
You need the right ingredients in the right proportions to create something truly special.
Now, what about our listeners who are thinking, I don't have all these skills? Does that mean they can't be an entrepreneur?
Not at all. Entrepreneurship is a journey.
Right.
These skills can be developed over time through experience, through education, through mentorship.
So it's about continuous learning and growth, always trying to improve and expand your skill set.
Exactly. There are so many resources available, online courses, workshops, mentorship programs, even pursuing an MBA. There's always something you can be learning.
And what about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, like mentors, advisors, other entrepreneurs who can offer support and guidance?
That is so crucial. It's like having a team of experienced guides to help you navigate the terrain.
It's about tapping into that collective wisdom, learning from their mistakes, and finding inspiration from their success.
Absolutely. But you also brought up something else that's important.
Yeah.
The fear of failure. And that's a real thing, right? The failure rate for startups is high.
It's pretty daunting, honestly.
Yeah.
But are you saying we shouldn't be afraid of it?
Well, it's important to acknowledge that risk is inherent in entrepreneurship,
Right.
but we need to reframe how we view failure.
Okay, how so?
Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone. Every setback, every mistake, it teaches you something valuable.
So it's about embracing the risk, learning from those failures, and building that resilience to keep going.
You got it. And for those who persevere, who develop those essential skills, who surround themselves with the right people, the rewards can be incredible.
You're talking about the freedom, the impact, the satisfaction of creating something from nothing.
Exactly. It's about pursuing your passion, solving problems, making a difference in the world.
Yeah, leaving your mark. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, is there a final thought you want to leave our listeners with, something to really make them think?
I think it all comes back to those 5 core skills we talked about: communication, sales, focus, ability to learn, business strategy. So I'd ask our listeners to think about which one they feel is their strongest
Okay.
and which one might need some work.
That's a great question for self-reflection. And remember, even the most successful entrepreneurs are always learning, evolving, and refining their skills.
Absolutely. It's a lifelong journey.
Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of entrepreneurship. We've covered those essential skills, the mindset, the resources that can help anyone succeed. It's so true. Entrepreneurship, it's like this constant evolution, always learning, always growing.
You said it. And the ones who really make it, they're the ones who embrace that. They're not afraid to experiment, to make mistakes.
Yeah, they're not afraid to fail.
Ex-
So for someone who's out there, maybe thinking about taking that leap into entrepreneurship,
Mm.
what advice would you give them?
Well, I'd say don't let fear paralyze you. It's a big decision, big risk for sure,
Yeah.
but you don't have to have it all figured out before you start.
You're saying it's okay to jump in and figure things out as you go.
Exactly. Start small, develop your idea, do your research, build a network.
Take those calculated risks.
Yeah. And most importantly, believe in yourself, believe in your vision.
That's so important.
Right.
And it really speaks to that whole entrepreneurial spirit.
Right. That drive, that resilience,
Yeah.
that determination to make things happen.
It's inspiring, honestly. It's been amazing to break down these essential skills, the hard skills, the soft skills, they all play a part.
They do. And it's been great to chat about it all with you.
Likewise. To our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought, whether you're already an entrepreneur or just thinking about taking that leap.
Yeah, don't be afraid to chase those dreams.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the essential skills for entrepreneurs, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes. We'll be back soon with another deep dive, so stay curious, everyone.